Hi, I'm attempting to make a podcast or a vlog or whatever in my woodsy area, my little itty bitty woodsy area, while being besieged by sheep, sitting in the middle of them. They like to hide in here when it's hot out, and it's actually a little better out today because it rained, thunderstormed like crazy last night. But they are all over my lap right now, and I'm trying to get some space to do this. Anyway, here you can see them. Yes. Yes, everybody's around me trying to help. So anyway, I was going to try to attempt to go get some information on keeping rams. I know most fiber people probably don't want to deal with rams. They just want to have a couple sheep to have and just shear them every year. You know, a couple girls, couple wethers. A wether is a castrated boy, full boy, you know, like gelding for horses. I do keep rams. I have 3 right now, and I am keeping 2 babies from this year to see how they grow and mature. And then last week I weathered 4 because they are probably just fine as fiber animals. There's nothing about them that I'm really interested in. There's different ways to castrate them. I am not a fan of doing the, there's a way you can put rubber bands on. They are little bands you can put around the top of the scrotums, and usually maybe when they're about a week old, and then stuff will fall off, you know. They do this to tails too. So far I don't do it to tails because I have a manageable amount for one person and I can keep an eye on everybody. I'm out here every day and I can see if there's any problems going on. If there is ever a problem with a tail being long, the problems would be they get wet and gross and dirty, and then I would have to, you know, dock them. But I wouldn't think that would be as much as a problem with healthy sheep, because when they poop like rabbit pellets, and they're pretty clean. I would think you would have more of a problem if your sheep were having diarrhea or something bad, you know, then you would have gunky tails, which then would have flies landing on them, and then that turns into maggots and a whole nasty thing called fly strike. So I have not had an issue with that. So be it. I don't need to use any kind of banding. Now, why I don't really band boys is because I actually want to see how they mature and grow, because I want to see, is it going to be something I want later on in my breeding program or not? Is it, you know, is he going to really be a producer of some sort, or does he have, you know, do I like his conformation, do I like his fleece, you know, stuff like that. So I don't like to band, and typically banding you have to do really early, and I think that's just too early for me to be able to see anything. At least for me, being new, I can't tell babies very well, you know, how well they're going to develop or not. So I gotta let them grow a little bit so I know. Now they're 2 months old now. The majority of them are 2 months old, and I went ahead and castrated those that I am keeping as wethers and also selling. They're available on my website for sale, and I did not do 2 because we are probably going to process them, and then there's another 2 that I'm keeping for potential potential ram duties later on. So basically another way to do it, I guess how we did it is I had a vet come out and castrate them surgically. So she came out and I flipped them over, held them, and she went ahead and castrated them physically, which means opening up the bottom of the scrotum and taking care of everything with emasculators if necessary, you know. So we did it that way, and then we leave it open afterwards to let it drain, similar to horses pretty much. So I've been coming out for the last few days, just keeping an eye on everybody, making sure everybody's acting normally, eating, Not too freaked out by the whole process. Sorry, boys. But everybody's doing well, and no problem so far. So that was successful. Here are my rams. This is my main ram, Meatball. Hey, Bubs. There's Jamie, and then there's Ty. Little poop head he is. Now these are my 3 rams right now. Now you notice they're in their own little pen. Yes, I keep the boys away, even though I believe Shetlands tend to be seasonal anyway, and it probably wouldn't matter that much. I keep these guys separate from everybody just because we interact a lot with the girls, and I'm always out there with the girls. And one thing with rams is you can't really trust them. No matter how friendly they are, you really got to be careful with them. So, because those horns are pretty good weapons, especially when they start with a full run at something. So, luckily mine are pretty good. Haven't had too many issues with them. I usually made sure that if there was ever an issue, especially when they were babies, basically Ty right here is Meatball's son, and so is Jamie over there. Oh, see what they can do real quick. Yes, they can do the head-on bashing, and they can also do this side head goring kind of action, which is not fun. They're typically not aggressive towards people, but sometimes people get in the way when they're getting angry at each other. So you got to be careful, especially when all 3 are in here. Usually it takes 2 people to deal with them safely. Always have a buddy, which at least we do here. Me and my husband primarily. One will be the distraction if we got to do water or something, or I'll put them out so I don't have to worry about it, because otherwise you got to watch your back all the time. No matter how nice they are, you got to watch them, just like stallions sometimes. Some stallions you just can't trust, you got to watch them. So if there ever became a problem with these guys, if they were ever aggressive, I think that we would turn them into hamburger, because honestly I have no time or patience to deal with rams that are going to hurt people. These guys are not aggressive, they're just behaving like rams pretty much, but definitely not towards people. There are things you can do to help with the problem ram if it comes to that. There's things called ram shields that you can put over their face. You can some people put baseball caps over so they can't see directly in front of them to be able to charge anything. But they will still have the ability to, you know, do the side swipes. They can still do that. Hi, boys. So, yes, Jamie. He's for sale. I think I might sell Ty too. But there's big man Meatball. I love Meatball. He's a real sweetie pie. Not aggressive. But man, when breeding season comes, these guys really get ramped up, and they really start, you really start hearing the clacks going on with them trying to destroy my fence. You can see we sort of make use of pallets for, you know, free pallets are awesome, I must say. But man, they can beat the crap out of this stuff. You know, I mean, even our fencing over there, I've had to re-straighten out and several times. So yes, rams can really take out some fencing, and even the barn. So something to keep in mind. Now, ram lambs pretty much are easy to deal with. You can't really coddle them too much because you can't let them jump on you. Obviously, I let the girls get away with murder, but unfortunately the boys can really hurt you because there's little weapons on top of their heads. Now, when they're this size, I can be friendly with them to a point, but basically, if they get too friendly, like, you know, he's coming up, that's cool. I have no problem with that. You always scratch under their chin. You don't, you know, when they start doing the head down thing, I always lift up their chins and scratch underneath. But I don't give him too much love like that. Just make him somewhat approachable a little bit, but that's about it. He's one of our wethers now anyway. I don't pet on the top of their heads. You don't want to encourage them to want to, you know, put their heads down towards you. If they ever rub up against you, you know, even just light playful bumps with their heads, absolutely Absolutely forbidden. I immediately, what I do is I take their legs and I flip them over onto their back and hold them down for about 5 seconds. They get the message pretty quick that that's not allowed. So they don't like that one bit. So when they're this size, they're much easier to sort of get into their little heads that, hey, some behaviors are allowed, some are not. Because when they get to about 100 pounds with big horns on them and they think that they're the boss over you, that's when problem starts. That's when issues really start arising, and I try to nip it in the bud as soon as possible with boys. So they're pretty manageable, but you just gotta stay on your toes. Now, you're not helping. Problems with just sitting out here where it's nice out. See? Hi, Bree. Hi, sweetie. Can I have my notebook back? Can I have my notebook back? No, you're not gonna eat my pen. Yes, I know. Oh, and Lily. Oh, here we go. Oh, yep, this is what happens. This is what, oh, there's Kat. That's Jerry's new girl she bought. But yeah. Hi, girls. Yes. See, if I try to do anything out here, I'm going to get barraged with love. Yes. No, you don't need that either, Kat. Thank you. See, I'm trying to take notes for our next podcast, and it's turning into this. I'm in our little, no, thank you. Sitting underneath the trees, trying to get stuff done, and you see what happens. Hi. No, this is not the time to be eating my notes. Yes. Hi. No. Go amongst your way. Go away. Hi. Hi, Kat. Go away. Thank you, girls.